What is going on, Governor? It's Chisgule here, and today we're going to share the top 3 biggest mistakes you can make in Kingdom versus Kingdom. We made all of them and freaking failed spectacularly. So, if you like Rise of Kingdoms videos where we talk about how to do better in KvK, you should like and subscribe because, man, you could learn from our mistakes, and we are a sponsored creator with Rise of Kingdoms. My friends, before I get into this list, I want to share a story that gives the context for what you need to know about this list because man, should you take advantage of in-game mechanics if it favors you? Probably. Let me explain. There was a game. This is a really old game called Street Fighter. It's like a 2D battler where you're fighting, against another player head to head. And this game was incredibly simple, but believe it or not, there was a world championship for this game. And I don't know if this story is true or not, but I'm told that the winner of the world championship used one move, and basically one move only, that everybody thought was cheese, and there was an unspoken agreement that you just don't do this move, which is you trap somebody in the corner of the screen and you throw them in the corner over and over and they can't get out of it. There's no escaping this move. All the best players don't do it. There's an agreement of honor to not do this move. The world champion, he won by virtue of doing the move. There's no rule that actually says you can't do it, so he did it. Why am I telling you this story? These things, I think, should not be a part of the rules of the way KvK works, but they are. And so you should take full advantage of these things for as long as this is true and works the way it does. Let me show you what these 3 things are, and let me share with you some of the ways that we didn't do this as well as we could have. Now, I'm currently in the White Tigers of Kingdom 39. However, I, in Kingdom 51, was in a corner kingdom. And the first mistake in our top 3 list is not respecting the design of the map. Not respecting fully the design of the map. Let me explain what that means. A corner kingdom has an interesting situation. You are up against 2 kingdoms that have options for which direction they can go, and that is because of the location of their passes. These passes for a middle kingdom, they can go north, they can go south, they could go west, they could go east, depending on where they're physically located on the map. This means that you can find yourself in a 2-on-1 situation, and that is catastrophically bad. You must respect the design of the map. What does that mean, practically speaking? That you must make, if you are a corner kingdom, one of your neighbors into a strong ally. At least one must be made into a strong ally. I tried to accomplish that, and our neighbors just didn't want to chat, and so they made their choices. But if you do not respect the design of the map, you are in serious, serious trouble if you are in a corner kingdom. And in my estimation, you've got a pretty profound advantage in a middle kingdom. The other thing that you need to respect about the map is the location of the next zone's passes. And that is because the middle kingdoms, once again, have a really massive advantage. Look at this tiny distance a middle kingdom has to go compared to the massive distance that a corner kingdom has to go to get to the next zone. You must respect that you are in a corner kingdom if that's your situation. And if you're in a middle kingdom, take advantage of the fact that you have options. Create good options for yourself by working with one of those neighboring kingdoms, or work with all the middle kingdoms to gang up on the corner kingdoms if you so choose, because that gives you, in my estimation, a pretty serious edge. That said, if you are in a corner kingdom and you have an ally that's somewhere else on the map, we had another corner kingdom ally all the way down over here, it is entirely possible that we should have surrendered the zone until we could actually make some kind of joint strike. I don't know if that's actually possible or not. We really didn't think about initially the fact that, because we didn't have the design of the map, that our allies would need to be like geographically located right next to you. But the geographic location of your allies is critically important in KvK. Get it right. Respect the map. Failure to do so is going to lead to problems. And I don't know if respecting the map for us just meant that we should have said, okay, we're in the corner and you're both powerful kingdoms. If you want to kill us, you can. Why don't you just let us have this zone? You can have all the next ones and we just surrender. Like, I don't know if that's what we should have done. Maybe. Hard to say. Let's get into the next couple of mistakes because these are more directly related to the toss them in the corner and don't let them get out situation from Street Fighter. Street Fighter. The second mistake that you can commit in KvK that is catastrophically bad is to not recruit endlessly. You must recruit endlessly in KvK. Never, ever, ever for a second stop recruiting. If migration is not locked, recruit to your kingdom. Never stop, never stop, never stop. You must snowball in your favor. I've been told by multiple sources that there were extremely aggressive recruiting agents working against us in Kingdom 51 that were recruiting for Kingdom 50 and 52, going to kingdom to kingdom to kingdom to kingdom. Please send 5T5s. Please send 5T5s. Please, whatever that message was, and it was powerful. Whole bunch of T5s showed up that didn't belong in the mix, and I say didn't belong. They weren't a part of like the group that joined to battle specifically to like be a part of the. They just joined to battle us and then left after the victory was won, right? Or stayed and collected rewards. It was a mix. So you need to recruit endlessly right up until you've actually lost. And at that point, you have an interesting choice as to whether or not you stay or migrate. That's a separate matter entirely, but the mistake is to not recruit endlessly. And I think this is going to get blocked in the next round of KvK, which I think is a really smart choice. Recruit endlessly. There's nothing that says you cannot. When I say that, by the way, I mean that you must dedicate human beings to nonstop recruiting from other kingdoms, right? You go to the kingdom, you look at the roster of players, you talk to the strongest one, you convince, you cajole, you find the influencers, you get people to come. And if you don't do that, you will lose to the people that do. The final mistake that you can make is to respect your understanding of what an alliance is today. It is a profound error to treat an alliance as a group of people who play together and stay together. What you must do immediately is to treat the alliance for what it actually is. It is a vessel that can claim territory, and it is nothing more. Surrender all attachment to your alliance identities, for when you enter KvK, they do not matter anymore. The unequivocal, correct, single only correct way to wage war in KvK is to rotate in and out of whichever alliances have all the fighting happening, to have as many active online players as possible fighting in a single location at a single time. I think the extreme of this, which is correct and is just simply correct, is to have 150 players that are all online fighters active in the fighting alliance at that exact moment that it is fighting. You go offline, rotate out of the alliance into a farm alliance, and all the people who come online when they're there to fight, you rotate into the fighting alliance, and that's what you do. That is the single only way to get an overwhelming concentration of power that minimizes the losses of any one small set of players and maximizes your kingdom's ability to have just an unapproachable amount of force in any one place. 4 alliances with 30 players doing stuff is cute. It's cute, but it's not good. Compared to 1 alliance with 120 players doing serious work. And I get that theoretically you could have all T5s across all those alliances that are all active doing meaningful stuff. Maybe you can find that situation. But I think you will be infinitely better rotating out the people that are offline and like, oh, you need to go somewhere else in the map? Everybody rotates into the fighting alliance and boom, they go to that part of the map. Rotate into the fighting alliance when it needs to fight and then rotate out when you're not fighting. I think that is a much better way to take advantage of what's in your kingdom, right? So an alliance is simply a vessel for territory, and the players are simply feeders for rallies and defenses, and fighting in the open field, right? But strictly follow the rules that are available to you. No, I should reword that. There's no rule limiting the number of times you can switch alliances, so you should just be switching all the time for wherever the combat is, right? Just go to the combat. And we were going to the combat, right? You've seen in my videos, like I went to combat a number of times. I was actually overnight in DFH with a peace shield because I was freaking sleeping, right? With my commanders in their fort so that they'd have good commanders to defend their fort. And I couldn't participate in Ark of Osiris because I was in the wrong alliance overnight when Ark of Osiris registration was happening, right? Treat your alliance shell for what it is in KvK. It is a thing that puts down flags and forts that claim territory, and it's nothing more. And it's got some buffs. That's all it is. As a resource to your kingdom that you should use and abuse. And at the end of KvK, you can restore your identity of here's who the members are of the alliance, or after you win. Because if you do this, you're going to be a tough force to reckon with, right? Like a 24/7 fighting force, anywhere you need it, anytime, is the correct answer compared to individual alliances. Obliterate the idea. And man, if you're in a kingdom where any of the alliance leaders are resistant to that, you're in trouble. Those alliances are going to be really difficult for you, and I won't get too much into that topic because it's an area of passion. If not every alliance in the kingdom wants to play ball, then you need to reconsider who is rewarded with territory in your own kingdom and in the KvK lands. So to summarize, the 3 biggest mistakes you can make in KvK. Not respecting the layout of the map fully. And I mean, like, look, not just seeing, oh, this is the layout, but like respect the fact that it has implications for how you must play. Swap, or I guess the second one was recruit endlessly. Nothing stops you from doing it. Do it. The third one, swap alliances aggressively to make a single 24/7 fighting force, literally anywhere, anytime the action is. Now that means, by the way, players that are going offline have to teleport back into Zone 1. They got to teleport back into Zone 1, and optimally they leave the alliance to signal that like someone else can come in, and that makes that easier to do. But that rotation is freaking crucial. If you are in a hard continent, most players probably aren't in a hard continent. I think we were one of the most high-powered, high-intensity continents in the game, by far. By far. My friends, I hope you found this video helpful. I am quite confident that the rules of the game for KvK are going to be very different the next time around, and I'm really looking forward to how that plays out. Yeah, should be a lot of fun. My friends, if you found this video helpful, like and subscribe. And until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.